Now, prior to 2001, this fence wasn't here. We were able to go over there, and back there is a big lagoon, 4,300 acre lagoon. It is 20 foot deep and has a cement bottom in it. Prior to 2001, we could go back there fishing. In the wintertime, that warm water from the plant, it was fantastic fishing. After 2001, they put that fence up and they hired a security company. When we go up there now to do some switching for them, we have to call them. They send a security patrol down to a gate down here. He opens the gate for us. He crawls up on the engine with an M16 rifle over his shoulder. He will stay up there until we are done.
You may proceed north into the yard.
When we come back out, he'll get off the engine and secure the gate. We have not figured out who was scared the most, the engineer or the kid with the M16 over his shoulder. Now this is where we do all of our maintenance work. This is where we build everything. This car was built there. This car was on a wreck train in Mansfield, Ohio. When we got it, we made it what it is today. 2004, a hurricane took the top off of it. So we did in 2004, had to put a new top on it. Now, so there is no misunderstanding. We can no longer tell you that Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey donated us something. I can no longer tell you that that car and that car over there was donated to us by Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. That is a diner car that came off one of their trains, on the circus trains. It is all set up. All we have to do is wipe the tables off, clean the stoves, and we can put it back into work. Anytime. Over here is our event field. We will be putting pumpkins in here real soon. We put 2,000 pumpkins in here. On Pumpkin Patch, we come back here, everybody gets off the train. All children are allowed to pick up one pumpkin and take it home with them. Now, 1923, the Fuji family from southern Alabama moved here and leased 54,000 acres of land. Now, anybody know how big 54,000 acres is? How many's been to Disney World? Disney World is 27,000 acres. So you're about double the size of Disney World. Or 81 square miles. 9 miles each way with 1 mile left over. Now they had their own railroad, which was a narrow gauge railroad. They had 3 steam engines, 1 service car, and 20 to 28 log cars. Why 20 to 28? On a good day, which is few and far between, they'd have 28 cars running. On an average day, they would have 20 cars running. This was all homemade cars. None of the logging cars had any brakes on. They moved here from Frisco, Alabama, because the ground was flat. Up there, there's hills. They had all kinds of problems with cars running away from themselves on the hills. Here the ground is flat. Now what they would do, they would log a certain area, simply pick up the tracks and move them someplace else and lay them back out again. Now over here is some cement monuments. One monument had a motor, a steam engine on it that run the sawmill. One monument had a steam engine on it that run a planer. The great big monument down there had a big generator on it, a steam-powered generator. At 6 o'clock in the morning, they would fire up that generator and blow the whistle. Time to go to work. At 7:30 at night, they would blow that whistle again, shut the steam engine down. It was time to go to bed. Now there were 75 to 80 homes here. It was a segregated community with the white people living on the south side of the lot and the colored people living on the north side of the lot. Now 1,450 feet ahead of me is the Little Manatee River. Now there was a building on that Manatee River where the single people lived. Also there was some, what should I say, feminine people lived. Now when they worked here, they got paid in coins made out of babbitt. Those coins were good two places. The company store and the feminine people down on the river. Now we purchased this, or purchased the ground from the gate this way 2 miles. We own the museum. We cleaned this all off over here. This is where we have our events. Clean this up at least on our events. On this side over here, storage yard that was storing equipment that's to be replaced or rebuilt. The Seaboard engine here was working most of its life on Amtrak. We had a baggage car that Amtrak's wanted real bad. And we couldn't get together on a price. One of our board of directors just popped up and said, well, we'll trade you that engine for it. And they took us up on it. For a long time, that was our lead engine. On my business cards, it shows that engine. Later, we started replacing them with bigger and better engines. And that engine now is a standby engine. In case we have a problem with an engine, we can grab that engine and use it. As you can see where it's at, it hasn't been used too much. This green and white car here used to be a Canadian Pacific. We rent that out to studios. When you're seeing these train movies, you're probably seeing that engine. They paint it whatever color they want to paint it on the other side. Then on the towards the back of the train, they'll have a diesel engine pushed. It has no motor, no traction motor, no engine. They just use it for the filming. Well, right now we have a big car that's in Miami that they're filming a film down there, and they're using that car for that. This car back over here will be our restroom, men and women's restroom. Will be cut in half or divided, and each side, one will be men and one will be women's restroom.
How long do you want me?
Hold on.
Oh, great. You keep going.
Okay. This car right here is a milk car. Years ago, they stopped every little crossroad, picked up milk, brought it in. That's insulated. It was air conditioned. It was air conditioned with ice. And the ice melted, the air conditioning didn't work. It's this green car down here. This is my favorite to talk about. Years ago, all the cattle was shipped by rail. Federal law says every so many hours or miles, you must stop and water those cattle. So they'd have a train load of cattle, that car would be on the end of it. And that's where the cowboys were. They didn't have horses, they rode in that car. So when they got to a place where they had to water the cattle, they would stop out at the ramps, and the cowboys would go ahead and unload them, water them, and put them back on those cars. Once they were back on the train, they'd call dispatch. Next train goes through the stop, we'll go on that train, pull it out, and take it to the next spot. Now this is one of the cars that I live in. Came down on Saturday morning. This is one of our members on this. Completely rebuilt it for us. It has 8 bedrooms in it. It has a dining room, a full bath, and a washer and dryer. Several of us come down on Saturday morning, work Saturday, stay there Saturday night, work Sunday, and go home Sunday night. This car right here, which is integrated with the services here, we bought that up in New York State. We have all new windows in it, and we have all new flooring in it. That will be a terror car. Now, right behind this car is an elephant car. I can't tell you that a couple of windows are. But that green car there is an elephant car. That's what they haul the elephants on. We even left the rings in all four corners so you can see it. Little Plymouth engine here. Had nothing to do with the Plymouth car. But that was in a phosphate mine here in Manatee County. They got ready to flood that mine and they were just going to leave it there. The county commissioner says, oh no you're not. So they had to figure out what to do with it. Well, it wasn't worth any money. It cost more to get it scrapped than what it was worth. So they gave it to us. It has a
Green's back on board. Go ahead and you can head south.
has a Cummins diesel engine in it. I use it every once in a while. I got to move one car around or something. I'll grab it and you can use it. We sandblasted it several years ago. It's about ready to need it again. We were going to paint it, and we had several factions in the board of directors that couldn't figure out what color to paint it. So unfortunately, it has not been painted yet. The little crane sitting beside it is called a furrow crane. Why would they call a crane a furrow crane? Well, it was real easy, ladies and gentlemen. The company that built it was Pearl, so they just named it Pearl Crane. We use that to lay out the new ties. When they get the ties put in, go through and pick up the old ties and bring them back here to the yard. See all these ties over here. We got another mountain of them. County commissioners will not let us get rid of them. We have no idea what we're going to do with them. It's going to take forever for them to rot up. They will not let us dispose of them. Now there's about 75 or 80 homes. There's about 300 people working here in Willow. White people ship their children, their age to school. Colored people had their own school, and they took them to their own school. Now, these backroom lands on right now were laid in 1902. Most of these rails are original. The only ones that aren't are ones that the ends break off and they have to replace them. You notice that platform that has a bunch of rails on them that you go through and replace them. Now, kind of keep in mind 100 years ago, there was a lot of things we didn't have. One of the things was penicillin. Well, most of these people all out here had a beard. Why a beard? Well, if they would shave and get the mosquito bites, they would about always get infected. And a lot of times they died. So if we let that beard grow while they were out in the field, then it kept the bugs a little farther away from them. They didn't have rubber boots. They had leather boots. High leather boots. For the snakes. They would go all day and drop into the water with leather boots on. Those feet would be soaking wet all day long. The third thing they didn't have is probably one of the more important things. They didn't have that stuff we put underneath our arms. So they always were quite a ways apart because they couldn't stand to smell. Now, how many more important people that rode on this train? Anybody ever hear of Henry Ford? Anybody ever hear of Thomas Edison? Those two were just like brothers. They both lived across the street from each other in Fort Myers. Now, when Thomas Edison died, Henry Ford was at his bedside. He had a quart can with a lid. Thomas Edison took the glass over there, Henry Ford capped that. That can is in Thomas Edison's museum today. Now, there's actually three of them. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and who was the third?
There you go.
Harvey Firestone. Usually you see them sitting on a bench someplace. All three of them sit together.
Go ahead. story is very interesting, but I can
Plant back here is full of power and light. The two tall towers are fuel oil. Four smaller ones are natural gas. Now they do it about all this route, all the way up to the river. Now in the wintertime on our Christmas tree, it's dark when we get through it. They have 10,000 lights on it. But we tell the children that the sun is working on it. You'd be surprised how many children take the picture of the sun is working on it. Any questions? Okay, this road actually is owned by the power company. We lease it from them for $1 a year. Plus, we agreed to put 1,000 new tires in the cross ties every year. Now each time we're cross ties, cost us $70. So cross ties alone is at least $70,000.